Okay. Now with this kind of a proof, I've got a bit of a diagram to work on. Here's my given. Here's what I want to prove. One strategy that often helps is to take a minute and mark the givens over here. So AB is congruent to CD. And as we get into more intense proofs, this step of drawing a sketch, marking it up with what we've been looking at and what we're given, and then seeing what kind of conclusions you can draw will help formulate where the proof is going to go. So I look at this one and say, all right, I'm trying to show something about AC, that's that length, and BD, that's that length. So before we get rolling on it, can I see anything that would tell me why, taking this idea that AB and CD are the same length, can lead to saying that these larger segments are the same length? What? There's something there, you're just not sure what. And if you really get stumped, another strategy is you can even add some real numbers onto it and see if that helps you make your game plan. It's not always the best strategy to dive right in to your two-column proof. Sometimes taking the extra 3 or 4 minutes to think it through will kind of help. If I were to say that AB was, just for argument's sake, 4 units, how long would CD have to be?
4 units.
4 units. And let's say BC was 5. Does it make sense then that AC and BD are the same? Why? So, yeah, I'm adding the same thing to both of them to get the new segment, right? And if I change the numbers, I really don't change the idea. If I make that 3, which will make that 3, now I leave that 5, it still works, right? I'm still adding 5 to 3, which is 8, and 5 to 3, which is 8, and 8 equals 8. So this is kind of helping me make a plan of attack. Let's go ahead and start working on the proof. Remember, the last step is going to be AC congruent to BD. That's where I'm going to land when I'm finished. And I'm starting at AB is congruent to CD. Given.
You forgot the line over CD.
Thank you. I'm going to be adding these measurements. So I should make a measurements, right? You can't add segments, but you can add segment measurements, segment lengths. So I'm going to say AB equals CD. No lines now, because I want to work with the numbers. Now for the hard step. What were we doing up here again to show that this worked? Yeah. Okay, AB plus BC. But if I add BC to one side, I have to add to the other side, don't I? Okay. BC plus CD. So I've added BC to both sides. So what rule did I use? What rule says I'm allowed to add the same number to both sides? Not segment addition. There's another rule we had. A what?
Is it like that POE thing?
It's one of them. That POE. Yeah, the addition POE. So we got, start with that. It's a property of equality because we're talking equals. Then you say, what operation were we talking about? The addition property of equality. And until you get real confident with the shorthand, it doesn't hurt to write it out longhand. Addition property of equality. I'll give you a hint. The next step, we're going to use the segment addition postulate. So if I tell you we're doing that, what do you think the next step might be? Also, I'll tell you another hint. This is our last blank before we finish. So look at where we're going.
Tricky.
Look at where we've been. Look at what we're going to use. Go for it. Yeah.
How did that happen? Yeah.
How did that happen? Well, what's AB plus BC? Look back at our diagram. AB is this. BC is this. So what happens when I add them together? What do I get?
AC.
AC.
Ah.
And that's what the segment addition postulate says. The part of a segment plus a part of a segment is the whole segment.
I feel that.
And so what I'm really doing is I'm funneling these two together to create that. And you can also get that concept by saying, well, I know where I want to land when I'm finished. Let's just go back a step. My last step is to say that they're congruent. The last step say they're congruent, so I know I'm going to have to say something like that. I'm guessing that may have been the thought process. I'm not sure why it's right, but I'm pretty sure it will be right because of what comes next. But then you can also say, well, look, I'm combining these together, combine those together, and then that will be the rule that applies. And that is what I set out to prove, right? That's my proof, so I'm finished.
What does QED stand for? It's like
Quad erat demonstratum.
finished.
That which was to be proven. That's what I was trying to say. Another way you could put it into English.
I feel bad for the German kids.
Why do you feel bad for the
Because
German?
it's like, welcome to America, we have brown bread at our school.
Oh yeah.
Like, this is like one of the few times that